Hi, this is Andy Collin from Growing Up Aspen Adventures of the Unsupervised. I'm here with Chris Pomeroy and Heath Kizzier. Heath um, came into Aspen High in his senior year and graduated. Moved on, went into acting. Was in Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner. Did 3 years in Young and Restless, and now runs and owns Four Oaks Farms. So let's catch up with Heath and hear his adventure. So you get shot, and where does the dead guy go from there?
Yeah, like I said, I kind of moved out of it, and I played in that world for a little while longer, but it was then I finally got age enough to where I'm now starting to lead life a little bit instead of having life lead me, and I realized that I was not a good fit as an actor, especially back then, because I was just way too serious. I took everything so serious, and I realized now, looking back, that to be an actor, you really need to have the right personality. You need to be able to be one of those people that just celebrates the wins. Where I never, back then, I just didn't celebrate a win. So I got Wyatt Earp, and I'd be really excited for about 10 minutes, and then I'd go and start working on the script, and it just, I've got some friends that are actors now, and it's like, man, when they get something, it's just joy, and it's important to them, and it's fun. And back then, I wasn't having fun.
Right.
And as a writer, that's more my deal, where I can sit a 14-hour session and write and go and make it perfect and exactly what I want it to be before I let anybody else see it.
Right.
And what are you writing? Are you writing screenplays, or are you writing books? Or
I was writing screenplays at the time, and segued to books. Got a couple of novels and a memoir, and yeah. So and then I got my appraiser license, and I went out and did an appraiser. Was an appraiser guy for a while until the 2008 blow up, and then I met my wife, who is also a horse girl, and now my life is completely changed. So now she's a brainiac, and she creates all sorts of animal health products, and we've got a 50-acre ranch, and we're a rehab, and we do Grand Prix horses for recovery. And anyway, she's a brainiac, and she creates all these products for animal health. And so now I run that company. She runs the ranch, and things are going great. We sell the products around the world, and kind of went from.
So you became a horse whisperer in a sense. Your pad is sort of the rehab for injured or recuperating horses in a sense.
Yeah. So I like to use the analogy. So these sport horses, they're pro athletes. So just like a football player will blow a hamstring, these horses do the same thing. And so they get sent to us, and we're the facility where they get back to speed and go back to work when they leave us.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. So you're the healers.
Very cool.
So I for years, I guess we started doing that in, I think, 2010 when we started that. And so for years I was just travel guy, and I was doing trade shows and traveling 2 weeks out of the month every year. And that, of course, gets pretty old after a while. And during COVID, we decided to stop doing that, to take me off the roads. Instead of spending all that money on travel and shows and booths and whatnot, we started taking all that money and just putting it into advertising, social media mainly, Facebook and Instagram. And interestingly, that just went crazy. As soon as we did that, we went back to the consumer instead of trying to go. It's not very interesting, but essentially as a manufacturer, you go to the trade shows, and the people that are at the trade shows are store owners. And so you're pitching to store owners, and that's a great philosophy, because if it's in the store, then you're hitting 500 people at one time when it's in the store. Our problem was that we were spending so much money on putting me on the road, and I'm pretty good at a trade show, and so people would buy it, the store owners would bring the products in. We didn't have enough money to support that in advertising, and so people would see it on the shelf, but they didn't know what it was, and so they'd just pass it by and go to something else. And we realized that was just not a sustainable way to do things, and so now we're going back to the consumer one-on-one, and it's making a huge difference. I mean, my job basically is talking to people all day long on Facebook and answering questions and doing videos so that they understand what this stuff is.
So would you say that sitting in the back seat of Kevin Costner's car kind of helps with this kind of conversation? I mean, doing the acting stuff, getting in front of people and being able to talk and do stuff. Do you think that kind of helped you so that you could do what you're doing?
100%, because I'm really not a social guy.
Right.
You know, if it wasn't for that kind of stuff, I would definitely be the guy in the back corner.
Right.
And I've always been the guy at a party.
Yeah,
I'm the guy in the corner talking to that one person that likes to have a good solid talk instead of the chit chat that generally happens at parties.
I think I actually remember a couple high school parties of just sitting in the corner and hanging out and talking to you. And that's kind of where I got a flavor of a little bit of who you were at the time.
Right.
Well, wow, that's kind of interesting. Thanks for listening. The authors of Growing Up Aspen would like to thank you, and would like to also thank the Aspen Times and the Aspen Daily News for giving us materials for our book, Growing Up Aspen, Adventures of the Unsupervised, which you can get at twistandturnpress.com and any local bookstore. Thanks.